Good morning, YouTubes. I apologize if the video is a bit shaky. The mount I'm using doesn't seem to be well structurally supported, and I apologize if half my face appears to be invisible because the sun is right in there. Anyway, to the point. So it's coming to that time of year when I, like many others I'm fairly certain, are thinking about setting New Year's resolutions. And I've never stuck to a New Year's resolution ever. I think the longest I've sort of sat one out was maybe 2.5, 3 days, and then I failed miserably, like terribly, like completely undone everything I'd achieved in those 72 hours or whatever. So I got to reading a bit into why this happens. And pardon me, for some people they do find setting New Year's resolutions are useful. It's a very small group, but when you look at the circumstances, it's usually because these people who find it successful, or find that they are successful in setting New Year's resolutions and sticking to them, is because they have a community around them to hold them accountable for if they fail, or cheer them on when they succeed. A bit like let's say bodybuilding.com forum, where everyone is sort of cheering everyone on to achieve their best themselves, whether they're trying to lose weight or whether they're trying to build muscle, whatever. Same with car forums back in the day when people were building project cars. I mean, everything like that is now on YouTube, is in public domain one way or another. No one really likes the written word as much anymore. It's all video content, but still the same thing applies. So if, say, like a YouTuber with a massive following says he's going to do something for the new year, his entire following is his community that hold him accountable. If he fails, then there's going to be a ton of people sort of wanting to comment and say, you're shit at it, like don't do that again. Then on the upshot or downshot, however you look at it, for people who tend to fail New Year's resolutions and in like goal setting and that, if they don't have that community of support around them, and they announce their plans, they tell everyone about it, but that's it. The people they tell are random. They could be family members, it could be friends, could be work colleagues, but they're not people involved with what they're trying to do. And that in the head of the person, like in the deep down in the mind of a person who is announcing their goals, their brain is sort of switching into a mode where, like, oh, I've announced what I'm going to do publicly. What I want to do is now become a social reality, and the sort of the dopamine hit of doing something has now already been released just through the pure act of telling some people that you're going to do something. The downside to that is when you go to actually carry out your tasks of sticking to your New Year's resolution, your brain doesn't release the same amount of dopamine or feel-good hormones as it did when you first told everyone about it. So you suddenly feel this like lack of a need or lack of a want to carry on sticking to your New Year's resolutions, because you're not getting rewarded for it. So, and then a counter to that is a few researchers have been looking into this for 60 or 70 plus years. The opposite of announcing your plans and trying to hold yourself accountable by making sure that people know about what you're trying to do is keeping your intentions private. Because when you do personal goal setting, you like write it down on a piece of paper, you file it away, make sure no one sees it, you don't tell anyone what your plans are regarding your resolutions, then there is no initial dopamine hit, there's no initial like feel-good factor. And when you start doing something towards achieving your resolution or sticking to your resolution, your brain deep down is going to reward you. It's going to release dopamine. It's going to make you feel good every time you do something small towards it. And then that encourages you to carry on doing it, you know, as opposed to not feeling as good as when you first told people about what you're trying to do. So I hope that kind of makes sense. I'll put a link down in the description to a document that explains this a bit more. It is a very like higher education oriented document, so it's a bit hard to read because it's very abstracty, but it's very useful, very informative, and does explain a lot. Anyway, I'm at work now. This is slippery. I will catch up with you another time. Happy Christmas, Happy New Year, enjoy the snow, have a good day.